Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Test, test. Can you hear me, Robert? Hey, Dennis, how you doing? Drum pad work today. You want to get the stick control formulas out, okay? And your metronome. Hello, Robert. How are you? Drum pad and stick control book formulas. Okay, how's everybody today? Hi, guys. Hi, Mr. Mante, Robert, Dennis. Okay, thank you, Stacy, for the pre-order. Thank you, Robert, and thank you, old dog. Okay, we haven't been on the pad for a while. Let me use a heavier stick. So, let's talk about vamping. Why do we vamp? Yeah, we loosen up, okay? But there's a purpose for the vamp. And it's actually half a 16th note single stroke roll. If I'm playing this, and I play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, that's half. That was a turnaround. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's a good exercise for you guys. You vamp 2 measures and you play 16th notes alternating the strokes right-handed. When you come to the last measure, 4, E, and da, that's a turnaround. So I'm going to do it slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 16ths. 4. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1. And 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 16th notes, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, turn around, 3, 4, 1, 2. You see that, guys? Do you understand that? I guess I did. There is such a delay. My goodness. I need a haircut so bad. It's pathetic. Hi, girl. Hi, guys. Hello, Mr. Mante, Robert, Dennis. Dennis, did you understand that? Get the exercise down first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 16ths. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, turn around. 2, 2, 3, 4, 16ths. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and turn around. How you doing, Seth? Did we all understand that, guys? Dennis, you understand it. Now, everybody here is different. Everybody's at a different level. So I'm going to put the metronome on very slow. And this is the way you should approach it, I feel. I'm going to put it on 70. That's the quarter note. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 16ths. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3, 4, 1, 2, turn around. 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now you see how I'm making that turnaround to go back to the hand, to the right hand or to the left hand? Now that should answer some of your questions there, Stacy. What's a turnaround? And that's what it's used for, is to make a transition from either right or left. Got it? Dennis understands it. Seth, Mr. Mante, Robert. How many guys here could vamp 4 measures with the right, 4 measures with the left at 150? That's 150. 4, 4. 2, 3, 4. Left hand. 4, 2, 3, left. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Right hand. 4. And that was for a minute. How many here can vamp? That was at 150. How many guys here could vamp at 150? You understand? Stacy's got it. Dennis understands. Seth, do you understand that? Remember, no preliminary stroke. Let the stick just bounce. Relax. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1. How many guys here could vamp at 150? Yes, no, it's no problem. Just say yes or no. At least 4 measures. You can, Robert. Okay. You can, okay. Well, try it. What was that, laugh out loud? You put it on 150. You got to relay. Remember, a lot of people don't allow the stick to do what it's supposed to do. Look, I'm just throwing the stick down. I'm allowing the stick to do the rebound. I don't practice a rebound. You throw it, there's an automatic rebound. So I just throw it. If I want a faster tempo, that's my throw. That's 150. Now I want to go faster. I throw down with the downbeat. This is at, let me try 190. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left hand stiff. But you see it? You were able to. What happened, Dennis? What I'm trying to do is find a happy medium for everybody. Most of you guys can do it at 150, okay? You used to be able to do it, Dennis. Okay. Me too. And Stacy, you've never done it before. So you need to try it. Even if you come down, let's make 100. 100 at home. Now, the slower, I like, that's quarter note. The slower, I like to play it a little, the stick a little higher because I want to work it. See that? 3, 2, not 4, 2, 3, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. I like to make the stick a little higher. You can do it. Okay. Then you see now, everybody should go to 100 and try. Set your timer for 1 minute. Now that's slow. All right? So what you want to do is make the stick come up higher. You don't want to do full strokes. Maybe about right there. Just a little bit of a warm-up exercise. Now, I'm going to do the first 5 or 6 lines or 7, 8 lines of stick control book. Not at 100. I'm going to bring it up to 150. Now, if you could vamp at 150, you could definitely do this. I'll do 4 measures, then vamp. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Line 2. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 3. 3, 2. Line 4. Nice and soft. One more. 1, 2, 3, 1. Crescendo. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. Line 5. 3, 4. Now, you should make a daily habit out of that. Most definitely. All right, well then slow it down. You can't lose control, Dennis. What were you at, 150? Bring it down slower. Okay, now, I want to go over the turnarounds a little bit to benefit Stacy, because and whoever else wants to review it. Now, I'm going to explain it on one surface on the drum pad. I think it's better to do that on the drum pad first. Okay, what we have, okay, is we're going to do 16th notes, alternating the strokes, right hand lead. I'm going to accent the downbeat, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to have 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 1. Got it so far? Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 measures with the right. Now when I want to make the transition to the left smooth, okay, I tag a paradiddle on the last section of the 4E and a. So I'm going to have this 1E and a, 2E and a, E and a, 4 again, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and 1. See it? 3E and a, 4E and one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4E paradiddle. So I make that transition. Do you get that, Stacy? Everybody else get it? It's a nice little exercise. You know, you take a formula, and I think it's in the stick control book formula, but don't look at it for now. I made R equals 16th notes like this. L equals 16th notes with the left hand lead. 1E and a. So now if I have 2 rights and 2 lefts, it would be 1E and a right paradiddle, left E and a, left E and a, right. Right. Do we get that? So take something either line, any line that you want on the left-hand side of page 5, I would actually hit line 1, line 2, do 1 through 5 like that with that formula. Okay? That's going to help you. And then there's one more exercise, then we're going into the stick control book formula. The one exercise, if you remember, I made R equal single strokes, L equal double strokes. So if I went the sequence of right, left, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Do line 3, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, E and a. Notice when I made the transition, you couldn't tell a difference. Or if you did tell a difference, it's extremely slight. Okay? Now, I want to give you an exercise that I didn't come up with the formula. I mean, I came up with the formula, but the sticking pattern, I believe if you have Master Studies, is number 27. Okay? So, let me get to it. Number 30. Formula number 30. Now don't get confused, Dennis. Formula number 30. Now, this sequence is in, like I said, Master Studies. It's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and. Okay, stick control formula number 1. Everybody got it? Let me know when he's got it. Formula number 30. You got it, Stacy? Formula number 30? Hello? Am I back? Am I still online? You got it, Dennis? Stacy's got it? Number 30. Robert, formula number 30. That's it. Hoist, number 30. Seth, number 30. It's a 16th note pulse. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now, like I said, I took this from Master Studies, Joe Morello's Master Studies. I believe it's number 27 in his book. Now, it's a straight 16th notes, but he attacks the accent a little different. If I did, for example, if you're on number 30, the first line number 1, if you look at the accents, you see the sequence, it says right, left, then there's accents under each one. So the R is going to become 1 E and da. I'm up. 2 E and da. 3 E and da. 4 E and da. Do we all see that? You're not going to get confused. Don't go off the wall here and go to outer space. Just follow what I'm doing. Who's this guy, Jim K? Who's that? He's late. You're in the wrong place, Jim. Well, we're going to probably do almost the same thing tonight. Okay, so now, you're going to take 16th notes. If I did the first line, number 1, we're on stick control book formula, the formula book, number 30. We're going down, tap, tap, up. I'm coming up now. I'm in position to nail the left-hand accent. 2, E, and 3, E, and 4. That's important. You're training yourself. You got it? All right. Stacy, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you. You understand the accents? Yeah, but you have to understand the levels, Seth. If I just played without accents, it would be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I want to nail an accent on the first stroke. Okay? So if we went to, let's skip line 2 and go to line 3, you'll see it. Now, the level for line 1 was 1 E and 2. Was down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, tap, up. Now we go to line 3. Now remember, the objective of the levels is to put you in position to nail the up and coming accent effortlessly. So now, we're referencing from the stick control book, 2 rights, 2 lefts. Okay, all right, I'm sure you do, Seth. Don't beat me up. Huh. That's the importance of the exercise. So I go to line 3 and I have 1. Now that's wrong. Why is that wrong on line 3? I just hit line 3 and I stayed down. Why? And that's wrong. So tell me what I did wrong. No, it's not down, up, tap, strokes. If I do line number 3, my first right's going to be a free stroke. E, and number 2. A 2 is down, E, and the free stroke, 3, E, and downstroke, 4, E, and the. That's right, absolutely, Robert. Because the reason why it has to be a full stroke is because my next up and coming right is going to be an accent. So I'm in position to nail it. Line 3, 1, E, and, I'm sorry, it's 1, E, and now 2, down, E, and the free stroke, 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Yes, that's on line 3. You look at line 3. All right, you know what? I'm going to have to do some reading with you guys. I can see that right now. I'm doing a straight line of 16ths. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You see where the accents are? They're on the first stroke of the grouping of 4. That's the grouping of 16ths. If I go on line 3, 1 is a right-hand accent. Now, nobody answered this except Dennis. On line 3, the first R is an accent. What is the second R? Okay, so I'm going to do line 3 real slow. 1, E, and, I'm sorry, 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. That's right, 2 rights, 2 lefts. You see how it's coming out there? The first right's an accent. The next right is an accent. Then the accent shifts to the left hand on 3 and an accent on 4, left hand. So I'm doing line 3, 1, E, and the. 2, E, and the. 3, E, and the. 4, E, and the. We all see that? Downbeat number 2 is a right hand accent. All right, on line 3, the first downbeat, which is 1, is a right hand accent. On 2, it's another right hand accent. On the count of 3, it's a left hand accent. On the count of 4, it's an additional left hand accent. Do you understand that? Jimmy, you still here? Now this is fantastic to develop speed, but you got to play it slow. And when you're coming down here, you can pick up the speed. Come on, left hand. Notice how they stay down? You're teaching on the side, right, Paul? You and Jimmy, timeout chairs, man. I have 2 of them today. That's okay. We're going to do the same lesson, and you can watch it when it's filmed. We're going to do probably the same lesson tonight, 7 o'clock. I'm going to stay on the drum pad. I see that we're going to have to do some reading. Dennis, what are your reading skills? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. In accent 2. All right, first of all, let me get some answers here. Dennis, how would you rate your reading skills? Everybody, tell me. Hoist, Jim, Paul, Dennis, Seth, Robert, Stacy. Oh, I thought you were teaching on the side there, Paul. That's okay. Please, tell me what your reading skills are. Like, okay, fair, so-so, excellent, whatever. Because I think that's where you need some work, everybody, is to understand how rhythm falls. Jimmy's intermediate. Dennis is intermediate. Stacy's intermediate. Uh-oh. We got a ringer in here. Paul. Above average. Okay. How about you, Hoist? And Seth? Okay. There's a book. It's no longer in publication. Well, very few people could sight read, but it's, you've been reading for as long as I have, everything seems to be the same. But some of the people who write have different ways of writing it, and it gets a little confusing. But I'm going back to this one book, and everybody wants this book, but it's no longer in publication. I have 2, and they're all beat up because I did a lot of work out of them. The name of the book is Variations of Drumming by Ralph C. Pace. And that book, it's not that, the middle of the book. The first 2 sections of that book will put you right on the map for reading, man. You have any questions, it's there. And that's in 4/4. And what I'm going to do, and I can't do it because of copyright infringement, but I am going to take a few measures here and there and mix them around and write them out and give them to you. Now, we all have the Buddy Rich book. You can read the back of the Buddy Rich book. Let me talk to you about sight reading. It's not really sight reading, but reading skills. I consider myself a pretty good reader because I've been doing it for such a long period of time. Now, when I first met Alan Herman, I invited him here to my studio. And we hung out, we practiced a little bit together. And I figured I'd get this sucker good and see where his reading skills are. And I put up a book called the NARD, National Association of Rudimental Drummers. Now you have to understand, Alan comes from a non-rudimental school. The three rudiments, the singles, the doubles, and the flams. So I opened up to one section. The sucker read it right down. It was hard. And he read it right down. He made one mistake, but he read it right down. And then ever since then, Alan Herman and I are like husband and wife, I guess. We're friends for 2 years. We don't talk to each other for 4 or 5 months. He befriends me on Facebook. Then we're friends again. Then we're not friends again. And that's only because of our disagreements sometimes with the drumming. I'm the type, see, he's very diplomatic and he's brilliant with his words. Me, I say, to hell with it. That's not right. But he'll give you a whole thing. He's a brilliant man. But he's an excellent musician. And as soon as this thing is all over, him and I are going to have an argument here. Him and I do a live lesson. I don't say argument, but in a nice way. And he's going to come down and if you don't go to China first, I don't know why. Well, he's married. His wife's in China. But I don't know if anybody who wants to go to China now, got to be a little tilted. But that's beside the point. So I'm gonna start doing some reading stuff. Very simple, just so I know where everyone is at. Okay? Now, well, that's a good way to put it. So is mine, Hoist. You know what? It's like I mentioned to you yesterday, I put on an advertisement for the book, the Stick Control Formulas, and the first comment I got from this guy was a waste of time. I said, whoa, waste of time. And I commented, I was pissed. I commented 3 times and didn't get back to me. The next day he gets back to me. I said, what do you mean a waste of time? He goes, I'd rather practice than read the book. I'm trying to still make sense of that. You buy a Jim Chapin book, you buy Master Studies, you're practicing, you're reading. Yeah, we'll work on you guys have to request this. Nobody has requested it, reading, so I don't throw it out there, but I will. We can start that next week because I'm loaded up right now. I'll send you a PDF, a couple PDFs. I'm almost finished that book, Stacy, Robert, and Old Dog. And hopefully I can get it to the printers by Friday or Saturday, but definitely by Wednesday of next week, I'll have it in hand. And I'd send them out, okay? But thank you for the pre-orders. Now, where is he? Paul? Don't get the PDFs this time. You get a book. All right, anyway, it's time for me to leave. I'm sorry, I'm just totally exhausted my eyes are blurry. Seth, Dennis. Seth, are you taking a lesson this weekend? I need to know. Well, my first book for reading, believe it or not, was the Haskell Horror book. Anybody familiar with that book? Yeah, Haskell Horror 1, Haskell Horror 2. Other than the fact of variations of drumming, I did get a tremendous amount of experience reading with the Army Big Band. That helped me out tremendously. But anyway, I don't want to seem to be in a hurry, but I'm just overloaded right now. I have to get back to doing what I was doing. All right, thank you, Seth. Yeah, well, that was a funny book, but that's okay. Haskell Horror, geez. Podemsky. Ha! I have them here. I have a collection of drum books. And you know what, Robert, remember you said you showed me the price of the rudimental drumming you know, all that stuff. And like I said, it's out of print. I think Rob Wallace is going to try to get the rights to that. But right now, I have two brand new copies, and they are worth money, as you can see. Yeah, well, I was a kid too when I had that, Randy. Where you been, Randy? All right, I'll be here tonight, 7 p.m. Everyone have a good night, a day rather, and we'll see you then.